The navy ball at Magnolia Harbor gleams like dress whites until my parents dig their manicured nails into my arms and drag me off the dance floor in front of officers and donors. My gown tears at the seam. Their fortress of honor stands intact. Mine lies shredded exactly as they intended. They think I'll stay silent. They don't know Valkyrie doesn't surrender, only waits for the perfect moment to demolish the entire house they built on lies. My name is Avery Dalton, and I run Skybridge Response, a medical support contractor that operates in the gray zones where official military assets can't reach. The Office of Maritime Strategic Initiatives pays us well for discretion. My parents hate everything about it. Martin Calder, my father, sees my work as a stain on his campaign posters. He's running for Kingsport Town Council, selling himself as the patriotic businessman who supports our troops. His founder's flag charity raises millions for veterans. At least, that's what the donors believe. My mother, Elaine Calder, orchestrates their perfect image with surgical precision. She chairs every Naval Gala committee, hosts admirals' wives for tea, and ensures their photos grace the society pages. When she looks at me, she sees the crack in her porcelain facade, the daughter who abandoned a respectable military career path for mercenary work, as she calls it. They demand I play the silent, dutiful daughter at their events, smile for cameras, shake hands with their donors, never mention my call sign Valkyrie 77 or the extraction missions that earned it, never discuss the classified operations that left shrapnel scars under my evening gowns. I keep their secrets too. The USB drive hidden in my apartment contains 18 months of Founders Flag financial records, spreadsheets showing administrative fees at 18% triple the legal standard. Wire transfers to Calder Civic Partners LLC, the shell company registered in Elaine's maiden name. Invoices for their pool renovation labeled as Veteran Outreach Facilities. The proof sits encrypted, waiting. I've held it back because despite everything, they're still my parents. Because my 17-year-old sister Tess needs her college fund intact. Because I thought maintaining the family peace mattered more than justice. That calculation changed 3 hours ago at the Navy Ball. The Magnolia Harbor Hotel's ballroom sparkles with 1,000 lights reflecting off dress whites and evening gowns. I'm standing near the honor guard display, discussing rotor maintenance with Commander Hayes, when I feel their presence behind me like a storm front moving in. Avery. Martin's voice carries that practiced politician's warmth for the crowd. Ice underneath. We need you. Elaine's fingers wrap around my upper arm, her wedding ring pressing through the silk. Family emergency, Commander Hayes? You understand. They move in synchronized precision, Martin on my left, Elaine on my right, steering me away from the conversation, past the silent auction tables, toward the exit. But they don't head for the doors. They stop in the center of the dance floor, under the brightest chandelier, where everyone can see. You don't belong here, Martin says, loud enough for nearby couples to hear. These are real military people, not contractors playing soldier for profit. Elaine's smile never wavers as she adjusts my gown strap with deliberate roughness. We've tolerated your rebellion long enough. It's time you learned your place. The fabric tears. The sound cuts through the soft jazz like a rifle crack. Conversations stop. A rear admiral's wife gasps. Someone raises a phone. They release me simultaneously, leaving me standing alone under the lights with my torn dress and burning cheeks. Martin straightens his cufflinks. Elaine touches her pearl necklace. They walk away with measured steps, leaving me to find my own way out. By the time I reach the parking lot, the video has already hit the Kingsport Naval Foundation's donor WhatsApp group. Drama at the Navy Ball, with 3 laughing emojis from someone I recognize as a city councilman's wife. I sit in my car, engine off, watching the harbor lights blur through tears I refuse to let fall. My phone buzzes with messages, some sympathetic, most gossiping about the Calder family scene. Each notification drives the humiliation deeper. They've taken the one thing I kept separate from their world, my military reputation, my honor among peers who've seen combat. They did it publicly, deliberately, with calculated precision. I pull up the encrypted folder on my phone. 18 months of evidence. Enough to destroy everything they've built. They think I'll slink away, accept my humiliation, play the disgraced daughter to protect their image. They don't know the soldier they've created. In combat search and rescue, we had a saying, never leave anyone behind. They left me behind tonight, torn and humiliated on that dance floor. Now I'll show them what Valkyrie 77 does to enemies who strike at her honor. I'll use their own weapons, legal procedures, financial audits, public accountability. I'll dismantle their empire piece by piece, transaction by transaction, until everyone sees what lies beneath their patriotic facade. The Founders Circle Gala is in 10 days, their biggest fundraising event of the year, where they'll announce Martin's campaign platform and lock in major donations. I start the engine and pull out of the parking lot. 10 days to prepare the battlefield. 10 days to gather my allies. 10 days until they lose everything they value most, their reputation, their money, and their carefully constructed lies. They wanted war. Now they'll learn why my crew called me Valkyrie, because I decide who lives and who dies on my battlefield. And their empire's death warrant was signed the moment they tore my dress in that ballroom. The chandelier light burns my retinas as Martin's grip tightens on my left arm. We're moving now past the auction tables where a retired captain pauses mid-bid, past the memorial display where Gold Star families stare. My heels catch on the polished floor. I steady myself, but Elaine jerks my right arm forward. "Smile," she hisses through ventriloquist lips. "You will not make a scene." But they're the ones making the scene. They've calculated this trajectory perfectly straight through the center of the ballroom where Rear Admiral Morrison holds court with defense contractors, where the photographer from Navy Times snaps photos of the honor guard, where everyone who matters in Kingsport's military community can witness my removal. Dad, please. The word tastes like copper in my mouth. Not here. You lost the right to please when you showed up. His fingers dig deeper. Politician's handshake turned vice. Did you really think we'd let you parade around with real heroes after you abandoned your commission for blood money? We reach the dance floor's center. The band's jazz arrangement of Anchors Away continues, but dancers part around us like we're radioactive. Martin stops abruptly. The sudden halt makes me stumble. "Ladies and gentlemen," he projects his campaign voice without a microphone. "Please excuse the family matter. My daughter seems to have forgotten that this event honors those who serve with integrity." The word integrity lands like a slap. Murmurs ripple outward. A commander's wife whispers to her husband. 2 lieutenants exchange glances. "These people earned their place here," Elaine adds, her charity gala voice carrying perfectly. Not everyone understands the difference between service and opportunism. She adjusts my dress strap with deliberate theater. The fabric, already stressed from their dragging, gives way. The tear runs 6 inches down the bodice seam. The sound echoes in the sudden quiet. Someone gasps Admiral Morrison's wife. I think. A phone appears in my peripheral vision, held by a donor I recognize from their fundraising newsletters. The flash fires. Then another. They release me simultaneously. A choreographed abandonment. I stand alone under the massive chandelier, its 1,000 crystals casting fractured light across my torn dress. My parents step back far enough to establish separation, close enough that everyone understands this was intentional. "Perhaps you should leave," Martin says, straightening his cufflinks. "Find somewhere more appropriate for your kind of person. Your kind of person, not daughter, not veteran. Not the pilot who flew 17 combat rescue missions." Elaine touches her pearls, the ones I know cost $42,000, paid for through a Founders Flag equipment purchase. The coat check is by the entrance. "Don't forget your wrap." They turn in unison and walk toward Admiral Morrison's circle. Elaine's laugh tinkles across the spacelight. Casual, as if they've just finished discussing the weather. Martin shakes hands, makes a joke I can't hear. The Admiral chuckles. I'm still standing in the spotlight. The band has stopped playing. 200 faces turn toward me with expressions ranging from pity to amusement to secondhand embarrassment. The phone flashes continue little supernovas documenting my humiliation. My dress gapes at the tear. I hold it closed with one hand and walk toward the exit. Each step echoes on the marble. Someone whispers, "Poor thing," with the kind of sympathy that cuts deeper than cruelty. A waiter averts his eyes. The honor guard stares straight ahead, but I catch the muscle twitch in the corporal's jaw. The coat check attendant, a young enlisted sailor, hands me my wrap without making eye contact. "Ma'am," he says quietly, and there's something in his voice that sounds like recognition. Like maybe he knows who Valkyrie 77 is, even if these dress uniform peacocks don't. The lobby feels arctic after the ballroom's heat. I check my phone 7:38 p.m. The WhatsApp notifications are already cascading. The Kingsport Naval Foundation donor group lights up with messages. Someone's uploaded the video, 53 seconds of my parents dragging me across the ballroom. The tear, the abandonment. "Drama at Navy Ball," reads the caption, followed by wine glass and laughing emojis. I sit on a lobby bench, watching the video loop on my screen. Martin's voice carries clearly. "Forgotten that this event honors those who serve with integrity." The comments pile up underneath. "Messy." Why did she even come? The Calders must be mortified. A text from Commander Hayes. "What just happened? Are you okay?" Another from someone I don't recognize. "Your parents are right. Contractors are just mercenaries with better PR." My service meant nothing. The lives I saved, the missions I flew, the shrapnel still embedded in my left shoulder, all erased by one calculated performance. I screenshot everything. The video, the messages, the comments. Evidence of the public humiliation. Time-stamped and preserved. In combat rescue. We document everything: weather conditions, tactical decisions, casualty status. This is just another mission now. The valet brings my car. I tip him a 20 and catch his eyes widen. He's seen the video too. The whole base will know by morning. Every officers' club, every VFW hall, every defense contractor's office will replay my humiliation over coffee and gossip. But they don't know what I know. They don't see the USB drive waiting in my apartment, the forensic accounting evidence, the paper trail leading from donated dollars to Elaine's personal shopping sprees. They think they've won with this public shaming. I sit in my car, engine idling, watching the ballroom windows glow gold against the dark. Inside, my parents are probably accepting condolences, playing the wounded family, gathering sympathy like campaign donations. 10 days until their Founders Circle Gala. 10 days to transform humiliation into ammunition. They wanted to destroy my honor in front of everyone who matters. Now I'll return the favor with interest. The USB drive weighs nothing, but it feels like a loaded weapon as I plug it into my laptop. 3:42 a.m. I haven't slept since the Navy Ball. Instead, I've been mapping the financial DNA of my parents' empire. Founders Flag nonprofit tax returns fill my screen, Form 990s stretching back 5 years. 5. The patterns emerge like enemy positions on a tactical map. Administrative expenses 18%. The legal maximum for veterans charities 25%. They're careful, staying just under the threshold. But that's not where the real theft happens. I cross-reference with bank statements I pulled 6 months ago when Elaine asked me to help with bookkeeping. She'd been champagne drunk at a fundraiser, handed me login credentials she forgot I still have. Every transaction tells a story. $8,500 to Calder Civic Partners LLC for consulting services. The LLC's registered address, Elaine's cousin's house in Delaware. The actual service provided nothing traceable. My phone buzzes. Maya Torres, the OMSI legal counsel who helped me navigate contractor regulations last year. Saw the video. Her text reads, "That was assault. Technically, you pressing charges. Different kind of charges." I type back, "Can we meet? Tomorrow, 10 a.m. My office?" I return to the spreadsheets. Here's a $47,000 payment to veteran victory venues for a gala that cost $12,000 according to the hotel's invoice I find through a public records request. The $35,000 difference traced through 3 shell companies back to an account that paid for Martin's campaign headquarters renovation. The front door clicks. I freeze, hand moving to the concealed carry at my hip old habits from forward operating bases. But it's Jonah Ricks, my forensic accountant friend who has a key for emergencies. He's carrying 2 coffees and a banker's box. "Figured you'd be up," he says. "Brought you something interesting." He sets down the box. Inside are printed emails between Martin and city contractors, obtained through his connection at the planning department. The subject lines alone tell the story. Founders Flag sponsorship opportunity, followed 2 weeks later by, "Congratulations on winning Oak Street Park renovation bid." "Classic quid pro quo," Jonah says, settling onto my couch. "Donate to the charity, win city contracts. Your dad's been running this for 3 years minimum." "Can we prove it? Look at the timing." He spreads papers across my coffee table like mission planning documents. Every major contract awarded by Martin's influence follows a Founders Flag donation within 30 days. The amounts correlate to bigger donations, bigger contracts. I scan the evidence. Richardson Construction $50,000 donation in March, awarded $2.3 million road project in April. Bayside Engineering $75,000 gala sponsorship, received $3.7 million sewage treatment contract 3 weeks later. "There's more," Jonah says. "That 18% administrative fee I tracked where it goes. Half flows to legitimate overhead salaries, office rent. The other half disappears into Calder Civic Partners, then fragments into dozens of microtransactions. They're washing it like laundry." How much total? He pulls out a calculator, though I know he's already computed it. Over 5 years, conservative estimate $3.2 million diverted from veteran programs. $3.2 million stolen from wounded warriors, homeless vets, families of the fallen. My stomach turns. I've seen soldiers die for each other, bleed for strangers, sacrifice everything for mission completion. My parents steal from their survivors. We need more than paper trails, I say. We need witnesses. Already on it. Jonah produces another folder. Former Founders Flag CFO, terminated last year for restructuring. Patricia Morse. She's been trying to whistleblow, but no one's listening. Too scared of your parents' influence. I know that influence. Martin sits on 6 boards, controls committee appointments, has judges over for poker nights. Elaine runs the social circuit. 1 word from her can destroy a reputation, end a career, exile someone from Kingsport society. "Oh, what about the insurance policies?" I ask. Jonah grins. "Now that's the beautiful part. They filed fraudulent claims for event cancellations that never existed, created fake storms, fake venue problems, collected $1.7 million from insurers who never investigated because who suspects a veteran's charity. Insurance fraud, wire fraud, tax evasion, money laundering, each crime carries federal weight. Together, they're enough to bury my parents in legal proceedings for years. The Founders Circle Gala is in 9 days, I say. They're expecting to raise $2 million that night. Perfect timing. Jonah starts organizing documents into evidence packets. We file the whistleblower complaint the morning after. Maximum media impact. Donors still angry about fresh losses. Prosecutors eager for headlines. "No, we do it during," he looks up, "during the gala. They humiliated me publicly. The response needs to be equally public." I pull up the gala's website. Look, they're live streaming it this year. Transparency in action, according to their press release. They'll have a real-time donation tracker on LED screens. Understanding dawns in his eyes. We expose the fraud while they're actively committing it. With every major donor watching, every politician, every reporter they've cultivated. I close the laptop. They wanted to destroy my reputation in front of everyone who matters. Now I'll destroy theirs the same way, except mine will be legal, documented, and irreversible. Jonah whistles low. You'll need attorney-client privilege for some of this. and protection once they realize what's happening. Maya Torres can handle the legal shield. As for protection, I touch the scar under my collarbone, a souvenir from extracting an ambassador's family from an embassy under siege. I've faced worse than angry socialites. We spend the next 3 hours building the forensic timeline, creating audit trails that even my mother's best lawyers can't dispute. Every diverted dollar mapped, every fraudulent claim documented, every quid pro quo contract linked with timestamps and signatures. By dawn, we have 43 gigabytes of evidence organized into prosecutorial packages, enough to trigger federal investigation, state prosecution, and IRS criminal division involvement simultaneously. 9 days to refine it. 9 days to build an airtight case. 9 days until the Founders Circle Gala becomes ground zero for their empire's demolition. They taught me to smile while bleeding, to maintain appearances above all. They never taught me what happens when someone stops smiling and starts shooting back. Maya Torres slides the whistleblower protection documents across her desk. Once you sign these, you're locked in. No backing out, even if they offer settlements. They won't offer anything except threats. I initial each page. Martin doesn't negotiate with people he considers beneath him. Speaking of threats, Maya opens her laptop. We need contingencies. Your parents have political weight, media connections. They'll hit back hard. Let them. I've war-gamed this for 72 hours straight. Here's the play. 3 layers, each supporting the next, like overlapping fields of fire. I spread my tactical plan across her desk. Layer 1 infiltration. Tomorrow, I call Elaine. Apologize for the Navy ball, misunderstanding. Volunteer to handle financial transparency for the gala she's always complaining about being overwhelmed. She'll see it as submission, me crawling back. She'll suspect something. No, she'll see what she expects the daughter who always eventually obeys. I've done it before, after fights about my career, my choices. This follows the pattern. Maya nods. Layer 2. Jonah embeds digital watermarks in every financial document. Invisible tracking numbers that prove which version came from which source. When they doctor the books for the gala presentation, we'll have forensic proof of real-time fraud. Smart. And Layer 3. You? I tap the Attorney General's office contact she's pulled up. File the sealed whistleblower complaint at 8 p.m. on gala night. Include a trigger clause it activates the moment we document public fraud exceeding $500,000. That's aggressive timing. It has to be. The gala starts at 7 p.m. By 8, they'll be deep into fundraising, unable to stop without raising suspicions. By 9, when we reveal the discrepancies, law enforcement will already be mobilized. Maya types rapidly. I'll need specific probable cause for immediate asset seizure. Insurance fraud. I hand her Patricia Morse's affidavit, the former CFO who Jonah found. She details 17 fraudulent claims, complete with forged weather reports and fictional venue closures. That's FBI territory interstate wire fraud. This is beautiful. Maya examines the evidence. But you need to get inside that gala operation without raising flags. I pull out my phone and dial Elaine's number. Maya starts recording. Mother. I let exhaustion color my voice. Avery. Ice crystals could form on her tone. Calling to apologize. To help. I saw the Founders Circle Planning Committee is overwhelmed. Let me handle the financial transparency display. I have the technical expertise. Silence. I count 5 breaths before she speaks. Why would you help after your behavior at the ball? Because I was wrong. The words taste like acid. Dad's campaign matters. The charity matters. I want to make things right. You'll follow my instructions exactly. No improvisation. No independence. Yes, ma'am. Fine. Tomorrow, 2 p.m. at the Magnolia Harbor. Bring your laptop and that military efficiency you're so proud of. She hangs up. Maya stops recording. Oscar-worthy, she says. Now, about the watermarks. Jonah enters without knocking, carrying a tablet. Problem. Martin just announced a surprise audit of Founders' flag books. Hiring external firm. Results due before the gala. My chest tightens. He's covering tracks. Or testing whether anyone's watching. Jonah pulls up the announcement. Brennan and Associates, known for making problems disappear. They'll produce whatever results Martin wants. Then we adjust. I study the audit firm's website. Maya, can you get a court order for document preservation? Force them to maintain all versions, all drafts. Within 24 hours, yes. Do it. Jonah, modify the watermark protocol. Make it activate upon any alteration, not just viewing. Every time Brennan changes a number, we'll have time-stamped proof. That's complex coding. I'll need help. I know someone. I text my combat systems specialist from Afghanistan, now working cybersecurity. Marcus owes me for Kandahar. He'll do it. Maya stands, gathering documents. You're building a RICO case without naming it. Pattern of racketeering activity, criminal enterprise, the whole package. I allow myself a cold smile. They wanted me to learn the family business. They never specified which parts. The asset seizure alone will destroy them, Jonah calculates. Houses, cars, bank accounts all purchased with tainted funds. That's just economics. I think of the Navy ball video, still circulating on social media. I want the social execution too. Every person who laughed at that video needs to see Martin and Elaine in handcuffs. Careful, Maya warns. Revenge can consume you. This isn't revenge. I check my weapons concealment under my jacket habit before entering hostile territory. It's justice. They stole from veterans while wrapping themselves in flags and patriotism. They destroyed my reputation to protect their facade. Now they face consequences. My phone buzzes. Text from Tess, my 17-year-old sister. Mom says you're helping with the gala. Please don't cause more drama. Even she's been turned against me. Another reason to finish this to show her who our parents really are before they corrupt her completely. 8 days until execution, I tell Maya and Jonah. We need everything airtight. Financial forensics complete. Legal framework unassailable. Media contacts ready for the story. Speaking of media, Maya pulls up a contact. Reporter at Navy Times. Former JAG officer, hates corruption. She'll want exclusive access to the documents. After law enforcement moves, I won't compromise prosecutions for headlines. Understood. Maya checks her calendar. Daily brief. 0900 hours until gala. Roger that. Military terminology feels appropriate. This is a combat operation, just with different weapons. Jonah, you're on forensics. Maya, legal architecture. I'll handle infiltration and tactical execution. They leave, and I'm alone with 43 gigabytes of evidence and 8 days to deploy it. The Magnolia Harbor Hotel ballroom keeps appearing in my mind, scene of humiliation, soon to be the stage for justice. I pull up the gala's floor plan, studying angles and positions like planning fields of fire. The LED donation display will be center stage. I'll need access to the main terminal and backup systems. Need to prevent them from cutting the feed when numbers don't match. My parents think they've won. They see a broken daughter coming home to submit. They don't recognize the reconnaissance, the preparation, the careful positioning before assault. In 8 days, at their moment of triumph, I'll execute the mission with military precision. No emotion, no hesitation, just systematic destruction of everything they've built on lies. They wanted to teach me about family honor. Now they'll learn what happens when you dishonor someone trained to complete the mission at any cost. The media storm hits at 6:15 a.m., 5 days before the gala. I'm reviewing watermarked financial documents when my phone explodes with notifications. Local hero or unstable vet reads the Kingsport Tribune headline. The article features the Navy ball video alongside a psychological evaluation from Dr. Harold Brennan, not coincidentally. The same Brennan whose accounting firm is whitewashing founders' flag books. Sources close to the Calder family report that Avery Dalton has struggled with adjustment disorder since leaving military service. Her erratic behavior at charitable events has caused repeated family interventions. My hands shake, not from hurt, but rage. They're weaponizing PTSD stigma against me. Using every veteran's fear of being labeled broken as ammunition, Jonah calls. You seeing this garbage? Already screenshot. Add media manipulation to the charges. There's more. Your sister posted on Instagram 20 minutes ago. I pull up Tessa's account. Her post shows a family photo from last year's gala Martin, Elaine, and her smiling. I've been cropped out. The caption, supporting my parents through difficult times. Some family members choose destruction over healing. We choose love. 2,000 likes already. Comments flooding in about toxic siblings and attention-seeking behavior. Elaine's social media manager earned their bonus today. A text from Martin. You want to help with the gala, stop spreading lies about our family. Get professional help. We'll pay for treatment if you publicly apologize. Professional help? Treatment. They're building a narrative the traumatized veteran daughter who invented conspiracy theories about her charitable parents. Classic gaslighting, executed with surgical precision. Maya calls. We have a problem. Judge Harrison just recused himself from signing our document preservation order. Says he has a conflict of interest. Let me guess, Martin's poker buddy, country club member. Your father's influence runs deep. Find another judge, federal if necessary. Already on it, but Avery, she pauses. Elaine just filed a petition for emergency conservatorship over your assets. Claims you're mentally incompetent, danger to yourself financially. The room tilts. Conservatorship means they'd control my bank accounts, contracts, everything. Classic offensive strike, tie me up in defensive legal battles while they complete their gala fraud. On what grounds? The Navy ball incident, plus affidavits from 3 therapists you've never seen claiming you exhibited paranoid delusions during sessions that never happened. They're fabricating medical records. Allegedly observational reports from public encounters. Thin, but enough to force a hearing. Thursday at 2 p.m., 48 hours before the gala. They're trying to neutralize me legally before I can strike. But they've made an error. Desperation leads to overreach, and overreach creates vulnerabilities. Perfect, I say. Perfect, Avery. If they win, they won't. This accelerates our timeline. File the whistleblower complaint under seal today. Make it contingent on the conservatorship hearing if they claim I'm incompetent. How can they simultaneously trust me with gala finances? That's brilliant. Their own attack becomes evidence of inconsistency. I text Marcus, my cyber specialist, need dead man's switch. If conservatorship granted, auto-release all evidence to FBI, IRS, and media. His response, already built. Send word and boom goes the dynamite. Elaine texts, Darling, we're concerned about your well-being. The conservatorship is for your protection. Cooperate, and we'll withdraw it after you get help. I type back, understood, still planning to help with gala transparency. Already found some interesting discrepancies to correct. 3 dots appear and disappear 5 times before her response. What discrepancies? Small accounting errors? Nothing major. We can discuss at tomorrow's planning meeting. Let her sweat. Let her wonder what I've found. How much I know. Paranoid people make mistakes, and mistakes create opportunities. Jonah arrives at my apartment carrying boxes of printed evidence. Brennan's audit is comedy gold. They found receipts for charity work that doesn't exist, invoices from companies registered yesterday. It's so sloppy, it's beautiful. They're rushing. Good. I study the fabricated documents. How are our watermarks? Embedded in tracking. Every time someone opens a file, we get location, timestamp, and user ID. Martin's personal laptop accessed the fraud folders 17 times in the last 6 hours. My phone rings. Unknown number. Miss Dalton Patricia Morse, former CFO of Founders Flag. Patricia, thank you for the affidavit. There's more I didn't include. Too dangerous without protection. Her voice drops. Your parents keep 2 sets of books, not just doctored completely parallel accounting systems. The real books are on Elaine's private server. Can you access them? No, but I know who can. Tommy Rodriguez, their IT contractor. Martin screwed him on payment last year. He kept backdoor access out of spite. Contact info. She texts me a number. Be careful. Your parents have connections you don't know about. Judge Harrison is nothing. They have federal prosecutors, state senators, even FBI regional directors at their fundraisers. The scope becomes clearer. This isn't just fraud, it's a criminal network wrapped in charitable giving. Every donation buys influence. Every fundraiser deepens corruption. Patricia, get somewhere safe. Once this breaks, they'll look for scapegoats. Already in Richmond with my sister. Good luck, Valkyrie. She knows my call sign. Word travels in military contractor circles the pilot who doesn't leave anyone behind, including whistleblowers. I call Tommy Rodriguez. He answers on the first ring. Been waiting for someone to call, he says. $47,000 they owe me. You want the real books, every bite. Cost you nothing but a promise when they burn. Mention my company was the one who found the evidence. I need the reputation boost. Done? Check your email in 10 minutes. And Dalton, your mom tried to hire me to plant evidence on your devices last night. Turned her down, but others won't. Watch your six. Plant evidence. They're escalating beyond media manipulation to criminal frame-ups. The conservatorship hearing isn't about control, it's about discrediting me before I can testify. Maya texts, found a federal judge, document preservation ordered. Brennan and Associates are furious but complying. Small victory. I forward Tommy's email to Jonah when it arrives, gigabytes of authentic Founders Flag financial records showing systemic embezzlement dating back 7 years. The numbers are staggering, $8.3 million diverted from veteran programs. Holy hell, Jonah breathes over the phone. This is career-ending for everyone involved. The city contractors, the insurance companies your parents built a crime syndicate. 4 days until gala, I remind him. Can you process everything by then? Sleep is overrated. I'll have forensic analysis complete in 72 hours. Another text from Tess. Mom says you're sick. Please get help. I love you despite everything. Despite everything. My 17-year-old sister now sees me as the family failure, the broken veteran who needs fixing. That narrative dies at the gala, along with every other lie they've sold. I pull up the conservatorship petition. Their lawyer argues I'm delusional, paranoid, and fixated on perceived conspiracies against charitable organizations. The evidence, the Navy Ball video, their fabricated therapy reports, and concerning military background involving violence. Violence. I saved lives under fire, but they'll twist my service record, paint rescue missions as aggression, turn heroism into instability. Let them try. Every attack reveals their desperation. Every lie creates another prosecutable offense. They think they're boxing me in, but they're really building their own cage. 4 days until the Founders Circle Gala. 4 days until their empire collapses on livestream. 4 days until everyone sees what I've seen all along the rot beneath their righteous facade. The conservatorship hearing is in 18 hours, but I'm playing offense now. 3 major donors sit across from me at Bayside Coffee Neutral Ground I suggested for transparency consultation. Mrs. Dalton sent us your financial summary, says Harrison Blackwood, CEO of Blackwood Defense Contractors. The numbers seem conservative. I slide across my tablet showing the real Founders Flag data watermarked, authenticated. These are the actual operational costs. Note the discrepancy in administrative fees. His eyes narrow. This shows 18%. The summary she sent showed 11. Interesting variance. I keep my tone neutral. You might want independent verification before committing funds at the gala. Perhaps request live audit access during the event. Margaret Stern, who owns the largest shipping company in the region, leans forward. What are you suggesting? Nothing. Just sharing data you deserve as major supporters. Full transparency strengthens charitable giving, doesn't it? The third donor, Richard Vaughn from Vaughn Pharmaceuticals, pulls out his phone. I'm calling my CFO. If these numbers are accurate, please verify everything. I interrupt. In fact, demand real-time financial display at the gala. You're committing millions you deserve to see exactly where it goes. Live, on screen. They exchange glances. The seed is planted, not accusations, just questions. Questions they'll ask Elaine publicly, forcing her to provide access I'll need. Margaret stands. If this is some family squabble, check the data yourself. I gain nothing from this except transparency for veteran programs. I close the tablet. Whatever you decide, insist on live verification at the gala. Your reputation depends on due diligence. They leave, and I know within hours they'll be calling Elaine, demanding live financial displays she can't refuse without raising suspicions. My phone buzzes. Tommy Rodriguez. Your parents just tried hiring another IT firm to scrub servers, warned them off professional courtesy. You've got maybe 48 hours before they find someone desperate enough. Maya texts. Conservatorship hearing moved up. Tomorrow, 8 a.m. Judge Franklin presiding. He's clean. No country club connections. They're accelerating, which means they're scared. Good. I drive to the Magnolia Harbor for the gala planning meeting. The ballroom is being transformed, gold and navy bunting, LED screens being mounted, auction displays arranged. Elaine stands center stage, directing workers with sharp gestures. Avery. Her smile could freeze helium. So good you could make it. The donors I met with have interesting requests, I say, loud enough for nearby committee members to hear. They want live financial transparency, real-time display of donations and allocations. Her jaw tightens. You had no authority to meet with donors. They reached out after seeing my volunteer announcement. Harrison Blackwood particularly wants to see administrative fee breakdowns on screen. Margaret Stern insists on live bank feed integration. Committee members turn toward us. Elaine can't refuse without seeming suspicious. Of course, she recovers smoothly. We have nothing to hide. You'll implement their requests. Already prepared the software. It'll show every dollar coming in, every expense going out, updated by the second, complete transparency. Wonderful. Her voice could etch glass. Set it up. I'll need to review everything privately first. Naturally. I'll have it ready for your review tomorrow at 5 p.m. She dismisses me with a wave. I spend the next 2 hours with the AV team, installing my software on their systems. They don't know about the hidden partition that will display the real books alongside whatever fiction Elaine uploads. Martin appears as I'm leaving. Heard you're meeting with our donors. Just ensuring transparency. That's what you want. Right, spotless reputation. He grabs my arm, the same grip from the Navy ball. Whatever game you're playing ends now. The conservatorship hearing tomorrow will prove you're unstable. Then we're getting you help, whether you want it or not. Looking forward to it. I pull free. Judge Franklin has an interesting reputation for demanding evidence. Hope your therapist friends have their stories straight. His face shifts. He didn't know about the judge change. Franklin. Ada sharp. Bring your best lies. I walk away, feeling his stare burning between my shoulder blades. Every move they make now is reactive, defensive. They're playing my game on my timeline. Jonah calls as I reach my car. The Attorney General's office is very interested. Unofficial word if we deliver what we promise. They'll have agents standing by during the gala. How many? Full SWAT staging. They want the Calders bad, apparently. Your parents' network has been on radar for years, but nobody could prove anything. Until now. Also, Patricia Morse just sent another batch of documents. Your mother has been filing fraudulent insurance claims for fictional veteran transport services. She created an entire phantom fleet of medical vans that exist only on paper. Another federal crime to add to the pile. Each revelation makes me angrier, not for myself, but for every veteran who needed those resources, every donor who thought they were helping heroes. I stop at a print shop and make copies of key documents for tomorrow's hearing. The clerk recognizes me from the Navy ball video, her eyes widening. You're just someone making copies. I pay cash and leave. The video has over 200,000 views now. Comments range from sympathy to mockery to conspiracy theories about what really happened. Tomorrow's hearing will add fuel to that fire, but it doesn't matter. In 60 hours, the truth will burn away every lie. I meet Maya at her office to prepare for the conservatorship hearing. They've submitted new evidence, she says. Security footage of you at various locations, edited to seem suspicious. A psychological profile from a doctor who's never met you. Character statements from people you've never interacted with. All fabricated, all carefully crafted to seem plausible. Your parents are masters at this. Then we destroy them with facts. I hand her Tommy's data. 8 years of criminal activity, documented and verified. If they want to question my competence, I'll question their character. Judge Franklin won't allow financial crimes in a competency hearing. But he'll allow evidence of conspiracy to frame me. Every false document they submit is another felony. Every lie under oath is perjury. Let them hang themselves. Maya smiles. You've thought this through. Combat planning, assess, adapt, attack. They think tomorrow's hearing weakens me. Instead, it puts them under oath with criminal penalties for lying. My phone buzzes. Tess, please just apologize. This is killing Mom and Dad. I don't respond. In 60 hours, she'll understand who's really been killed by our parents' actions, every veteran they robbed, every donor they deceived, every truth they murdered for money. The conservatorship hearing is in 12 hours, the gala in 60. Every piece is positioned, every weapon loaded. Tomorrow, they'll try to declare me incompetent. At the gala, I'll prove who's really lost their minds, the people who thought they could steal from heroes and never face justice. The Magnolia Harbor Ballroom transforms into a battlefield of light and gold. 7 p.m. sharp, the Founders Circle. Gala begins. I stand backstage at the AV control station, watching the LED screens cycle through their warm-up displays. 300 guests in evening wear fill round tables. Every power broker in Kingsport, plus federal officials, defense contractors, and reporters Elaine personally invited to showcase their transparency initiative. My software runs perfectly on the main system. The hidden partition waits for my command, ready to display Tommy's authentic books alongside whatever fiction my parents present. The watermarked documents pulse with digital signatures, traceable and undeniable. Testing financial display, I announce into my headset. Numbers cascade across the screen's donation goals, allocation categories, real-time tracking widgets. The audience murmurs appreciatively. Elaine sweeps past in a $12,000 gown paid for by veterans' funds. Everything ready, perfectly transparent. I confirm. The donors you invited will see every penny. She doesn't catch the emphasis. The conservatorship hearing yesterday was dismissed. Judge Franklin found their evidence questionable at best, fabricated at worst. Martin's face when the judge used the word perjury was almost payment enough. Almost. Ladies and gentlemen, Martin takes the stage, his voice booming through the sound system. Welcome to our finest Founders Circle Gala. Tonight, we demonstrate that charity and accountability go hand in hand. Applause ripples through the crowd. I spot Harrison Blackwood at table 3, Margaret Stern at table 5, Richard Vaughn at the head table. Each demanded the live financial display after our coffee meeting. Each will witness what comes next. Before we begin, Martin continues. My daughter Avery has implemented a revolutionary transparency system. Every donation tonight appears on screen in real time, showing exactly how we'll serve our veterans. More applause. They're crediting me publicly, trying to rehabilitate my image after the Navy ball disaster. They need me compliant, helpful, visible proof that their troubled daughter is under control. Maya texts from her position near the exit. AG standing by, federal agents in position. I text back, Roger, initiating in T-minus 30 minutes. The early auction proceeds smoothly. Donations pour in $10,000 for a yacht cruise, $20,000 for a Mercedes lease, $50,000 for a week at a private island. The LED screens track every dollar, sorted into categories: direct veteran support, medical services, housing assistance, administrative costs. The administrative percentage holds steady at 11%, the false number Elaine provided, but I watch the real data flowing through my hidden partition. Actual administrative costs 37% and climbing. At 7:45 p.m., Elaine takes the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, Prepare for inspiration. We have video messages from veterans helped by your generosity. The screens shift to produced videos carefully edited, emotionally manipulated. A Marine thanking donors for his prosthetic leg. An Army widow describing housing assistance. All real veterans. But the money they thanked donors for never reached them. I have the receipts proving it. Now, Elaine announces. Let's see our impact. She clicks her remote. The main display shows total raised $1,847,000 and administrative costs 11%. I press execute on my tablet. The hidden partition activates. The screen splits. On the left, Elaine's fantasy numbers. On the right, the real books. Total raised $1,847,000 versus actual received $1,847,000. Administrative costs 11% versus administrative costs 37%. Direct veteran support $1,293,000 versus direct veteran support $426,000. Silence drops like a guillotine. 300 faces turn toward the screens. Elaine clicks her remote frantically. Nothing changes. Technical difficulty, Martin says, grabbing a microphone. Please bear with. It's not a difficulty, I say, stepping on stage. My voice carries through the PA system I control. It's transparency. The left shows what my parents claim. The right shows where your money actually goes. QR codes appear on screen. Scan for source documents. Every receipt, every transaction, every diverted dollar. Phones emerge across the ballroom. The QR links to Tommy's databank records. Forged receipts, phantom companies, the entire criminal architecture. This is sabotage, Martin shouts. She's mentally unstable. We tried to get her help. Yesterday's conservatorship hearing ruled otherwise, I state calmly. Judge Franklin found your evidence fabricated, just like these books. Harrison Blackwood stands. Explain the discrepancy. Now. Elaine tries her politician's smile. Accounting variations, different methodologies. Fraud. I interrupt. $8.3 million stolen over 7 years. I click to the next slide emails between Martin and city contractors. The quid pro quo scheme laid bare. Pay to play, donate to the charity, win city contracts. Margaret Stern's voice cuts through the growing chaos. I want my money back. All of it. And the insurance fraud, I continue, as new documents display. 17 false claims for events that never happened. Federal investigators have the evidence. In fact, I check my watch. They're here now. The ballroom doors open. Federal agents enter, led by someone I recognize from surveillance photos, Assistant Director Patricia Chin from the FBI's White-Collar Crime Division. Behind her, IRS Criminal Investigation, State Police, and enough law enforcement to arrest a small army. Martin Calder, Elaine Calder, A.D. Chin announces, her voice carrying over the stunned crowd. You're under arrest for wire fraud, money laundering, tax evasion, and conspiracy. This is a mistake. Martin backs away from the approaching agents. We have lawyers' connections. Your connections are being arrested too. A.D. Chin nods toward several tables where agents are approaching other guests. The contractor kickback scheme involves half this room. Elaine's composure finally cracks. You ungrateful bitch. She lunges toward me, but agents intercept her. We gave you everything. You stole from veterans. I keep my voice level, professional, the same tone I used calling in medevac coordinates. You turned their sacrifice into your shopping sprees. The screens behind me cycle through evidence receipts for Elaine's jewelry charged to veteran medical supplies, Martin's boat labeled as therapeutic equipment, vacations disguised as site inspections for programs that didn't exist. Handcuffs click onto my parents' wrists. The sound echoes in the silent ballroom. Camera flashes explode, not from phones this time, but from the Tribune photographer, the Navy Times correspondent, the Associated Press stringer Maya tipped off. Asset forfeiture begins immediately. A.D. Chin announces to the room. All founders' flag accounts are frozen pending investigation. Any donors seeking restitution should contact the Attorney General's office. Agents escort my parents toward the exit. Martin's face is purple with rage. Elaine's makeup runs in black streams. They pass Tess, who stands frozen by the chocolate fountain, her face white with shock. "Tess," Elaine calls out. "Don't believe her lies. The evidence is public record," I tell my sister. "Every document, every crime, every veteran they betrayed." The ballroom erupts. Donors demand answers. Reporters shout questions. Federal agents process scene after scene. The LED screens continue cycling through evidence, an endless loop of proof that can't be denied or spun. Maya appears at my elbow. "Clean extraction. Every target confirmed." "Roger that." I hand her my tablet. "All systems transferred to federal control." Richard Vaughn approaches. "You planned this entire operation." "I completed the mission." I straighten my dress, not torn this time, not damaged. "That's what I do." The Navy ball that was the catalyst. That was them showing their true colors. This is me showing their true books. He nods slowly. Valkyrie 7-7. "I Googled you after our coffee meeting. 23 confirmed saves in Afghanistan. Medal of Honor nomination." "Ancient history." "No. Relevant history. You don't leave people behind, including defrauded donors and stolen from veterans." The ballroom continues its chaos, but I'm done here. Mission complete. My parents are in custody, their empire in ruins, their reputation destroyed beyond recovery. The home they built on lies is demolished. I walk toward the exit, passing the spot where they humiliated me at the Navy ball. The same chandelier hangs overhead, but this time I'm not the one left standing in its harsh light. Behind me, the LED screens flash a final message I programmed. "To all veterans actually helped by legitimate charities, Valkyrie 7. 7 sends respect. To those who steal from heroes, expect no mercy." The chandelier light catches the federal seizure tape being wrapped across the founder's flag booth. Yellow evidence markers dot the ballroom floor like crime scene constellation. I stand perfectly still as chaos swirls around me, donors shouting, phones recording, reporters pushing forward with microphones. Martin struggles against the agents escorting him. "This is entrapment. She set us up." "You set yourselves up." A.D. Chen states, 7 years of documented fraud. Your daughter just turned on the lights." They drag him past the chocolate fountain where Tess still stands frozen. My sister's eyes meet mine confusion, betrayal, shock cycling across her face. I pull out the envelope I've carried all night and hand it to her. "Your college fund," I tell her. "I moved it to a protected trust yesterday before the assets got frozen. Every penny they saved for you, the only clean money they had." She takes it with trembling hands. "You saved my college fund, but destroyed our family." "They destroyed our family when they chose stealing over honor." "I just revealed what was already broken." Elaine passes next, her designer heels clicking against marble as agents guide her toward the exit. She turns back once, her perfectly styled hair now disheveled, her charity queen mask finally gone. "You'll regret this," she hisses. "When you're alone with your righteousness, you'll regret destroying us." I regret waiting this long. I keep my voice steady, clinical. Every day I waited, another veteran got robbed. The handcuffs gleam under the ballroom lights as they disappear through the doors, the same doors they dragged me toward at the Navy ball. The symmetry feels like justice. Margaret Stern approaches, her face carved from ice. "You used us, manipulated us into demanding the transparency display. I gave you truth. What you did with it was your choice. We're ruined by association. Every donor here looks complicit. Only the complicit ones are." I gesture toward the agents still processing arrests. "The honest donors are victims. File for restitution. Cooperate with investigators. Rebuild your reputation through transparency. Actual transparency, not the performance my parents sold." Harrison Blackwood joins us, phone in hand. "The media's having a field day. Charity gala becomes FBI raid. Your family name is destroyed. Good. It was built on lies anyway. And yours, Avery Dalton. What does that name mean now?" I consider the question. Someone who completes the mission. The U.S. attorney arrives, flanked by more agents. Miss Dalton, we'll need your full cooperation. Testimonies, documentation, everything. Already prepared. I hand him the drive containing every piece of evidence, backed up in triplicate, distributed to secure servers. 8 years of forensic accounting, email trails, recorded conversations, enough to convict everyone involved. You've been planning this since the Navy ball. I've been collecting evidence for 2 years. The Navy ball just determined the delivery method. He nods appreciatively. We've been trying to crack this network for 5 years. You did it in days. I had inside access and proper motivation. The ballroom empties gradually, agents escorting suspects, donors fleeing association, reporters rushing to file stories. Soon it's just me, Maya, Jonah, and the destroyed remnants of the gala, overturned chairs, abandoned champagne flutes, auction items with evidence tags. 3.7 million in assets seized so far, Jonah reports, reading from his phone. Houses, cars, boats, bank accounts. The forensic accounting will take months, but early estimates show over 12 million stolen total. 12 million that should have gone to veterans. I say, how many prosthetics would that buy? How many PTSD treatments? How many homeless veterans housed? Maya squeezes my shoulder. It stops now. That's what matters. The LED screens still display the evidence loop receipts, emails, bank records scrolling endlessly. I walk to the AV station and shut it down. The screens go dark. The ballroom falls into shadow except for emergency lighting. What now? Jonah asks. Now I go back to Skybridge response. Back to actually helping people instead of exposing those who pretend to. Your parents will get 20 to 30 years, Maya calculates. Longer if the RICO charges stick. They'll serve every day they deserve. I walk to the spot where they abandoned me at the Navy ball. The floor is scratched now from federal agents' boots. The perfect polish destroyed. I bend down and pick up something glinting in the evidence lights, Elaine's pearl earring, fallen during her arrest, the $42,000 jewelry bought with veteran funds. I hand it to the nearest FBI agent. Evidence. Purchased with stolen funds. Receipt in the files under medical supplies. He bags it, tags it, another piece in the case that will dominate headlines for months. Tess texts me, watching everything on the news. I don't understand. How could they? I type back, greed, pride, the belief they were untouchable. I'm sorry you had to learn this way. Are you really sorry? I think about lying, softening the blow. But she deserves truth after years of their deception. I'm sorry they chose crime. I'm not sorry for stopping them. She doesn't respond, but she doesn't need to. Someday she'll understand. Or she won't. Either way, justice is served. I leave through the main entrance, passing the spot where the valet once brought my car while I held my torn dress closed. This time I walk with my back straight, my head high, my honor intact. The harbor stretches out before me, lights reflecting on dark water. Somewhere across those waves, veterans are struggling with wounds visible and invisible. They'll never know that tonight. The people who stole from them faced justice, but the money recovered will go to legitimate charities. The programs that should have existed will finally be funded. Mission complete. My phone buzzes with notifications, interview requests, book deal offers, movie rights inquiries. I delete them all. Valkyrie 7. 7 doesn't do victory laps. She completes the mission and moves to the next one. Behind me, federal agents load the last boxes of evidence into trucks. The Magnolia Harbor Hotel gleams in the darkness, its ballroom now a crime scene instead of a palace of lies. I start my car and drive away, leaving the wreckage of my parents' empire behind. They wanted to teach me about family honor at the Navy ball. Instead, they taught me that some buildings need to burn so better ones can rise from the ashes. The dashboard clock reads 11:47 p.m. In 13 minutes, it will be a new day. The first day of a world where Martin and Elaine Calder can't steal from heroes anymore. That's worth any price I paid to achieve it. Thank you for listening to this story of justice and redemption. I'd love to know where you're listening from. Drop a comment below and let's connect. Please subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts on Avery's journey. What would you have done in her position?